Oh, I knew that was gonna happen, actually.
There you go, Ellen. Okay, anywho, hi everybody. My name is Precious Wallace. I am the creator and maker of all things chicken.
Okay.
You know what I'm doing. Okay, let them know. So, you know, it's crazy times at the moment, and we are currently in a pandemic. And so we thought to get a little creative for our different panels and different things for art in many forms, which is, of course, why you're here right now. So today we are going to be talking with Mayowa from Iowa. Y'all, she told me how to say her name. I'm so excited because
I'm really from Minnesota.
She's really from Minnesota, but okay, because we get names correct in 2020.
Yes,
okay? It's a form of love and self-care. And then we also have the lovely Shaina McCoy dressed up. Okay, come through, fashion.
Casual.
Okay. So again, thank you everybody if you're tuning in and you're watching once again Art in Many Forms. This is our St. Paul panel. I know you probably like there's 2 bodies missing. Don't worry about it. Don't even trip, because if you stay until the very end, you might hear something interesting that might let you know where they at. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey y'all.
Hello.
Hey.
Happy to be here.
So you know I like to get into people's business. So I'm gonna ask y'all questions, you know, that are really super just general, and then we'll deep dive into it. Okay, cool beans. So let me ask both of you, how long have you been in business for yourself?
Okay. I've been in business for myself since 2016.
Ooh. Hey, 24 years.
Yeah, officially 2016. I guess the idea started in 2015, but January 2016 I was like, let's just do it. So now I do lash extensions. I'm an esthetician. I graduated from Aveda,
and you're one of the top ones. Black girl magic.
I love my career. I'm just thankful every day that I found it, you know. So I started in my living room, and now I have a salon in South Minneapolis, which I'm excited about.
Amazing.
And it's decked out and super pretty. I'm saying it like I've been in it, but y'all don't understand. It's super pretty.
I love things that look good. I said that earlier. I love things that look good.
So pretty. I was like,
yes.
I'm here for it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Cali and MN.
Yeah. There you go.
That's the vibe I'm trying to do.
There we go. For real.
Okay, charge them LA prices, then you.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Shaina, what about you?
For the last 3 years, I've been in my painting business and solely doing that. I've been creating nothing but works of my family, which has been a super big freedom that I get to continuously explore. So just painting family portraits back to back to back has been my role for the past 3 years, and it's been awesome. I keep on telling myself, like, I'm not going back to corporate America, I'm not going back, and that has been my life since then, and it's been a beautiful journey.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so both of y'all have just been out here working for these last couple of years. What do you think? Well, let me get a little bit more detail. For you, because I know you have a little person now. You have a mini-me.
I do.
Yeah, y'all, listen, learn your mini-me, styling, profiling.
Okay.
So how has having a daughter changed the way you do business?
Okay, so I definitely have to focus on time management because it's so hard to balance being a mother and then being a businesswoman. So I can, it's kind of hard because it's like if I get into my business, then it's so easy for me to just stay there, and so I have to always make sure that I make time for her and make time for us to bond, because you know I'm a full-time mom and I'm a full-time business owner. I'm also a single mother, which is okay, you know, but
you make it look easy.
Thank you. I hear that all the time, and it's really not easy, but she definitely gives me motivation to be the best I can be, because I want her to brag about her mommy. She goes to school.
My mom owns a business. What does your mom do?
Exactly. I'm gonna get her own salon. Okay? But I mean, I'm learning every day. You know, I'm learning every day how to be a mother and how to really navigate through life with her.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, and Shaina, so you said that like you doing your portraits, and I know because y'all. So a little backstory: I've known Shaina for some years. I don't know how many years at this point.
Since we were like on the playground.
Yeah, like we've known each other. Well, here's the thing. So it might sound crazy. So Shaina knew me first, technically, since elementary, because I don't remember everybody from elementary. But then she had found me years later on like MySpace or Facebook, and it was like, where the hell? So then we just started having conversations. I don't know. I think because it used to be when I say your mama lived in Savage, but you, we used to be having whole video calls. Like we was the best friends. So we stayed friends from then, and then we actually fell out for a while, and then it was like around last year, we was like, how are you?
Like, come on.
It was like, how are you? How are you feeling? How are you doing? So it's really nice to see her, because in the very beginning, she used to do really small portraits for Art for Shelter. And I remember telling her then, when she had moved into her first place, I said, Shaina, your work would be so awesome if you just did large scale paintings, right? Okay, well, year to date, she do life-size ass paintings.
Ooh. Yeah, they're bigger than me. They're taller than me.
And they're like they're the size of my window. Like they're huge, right? But now she actually has a patron. And so she has someone who pays her monthly on retainer to actually produce work.
Ooh,
and so, I know, right? And so my question is, after being so, long-winded, is that now that you're making this work, what makes you want to just make the work specifically about family? Because all of your portraits are so dope, and it'd be like your grandma, your daddy.
So relatable.
Yeah.
Your granddaddy, that portrait of your granddaddy is just.
And he's just like,
my man's is comfortable.
You know? He's waiting for my dad to be brought into the world. It's one of my favorite paintings.
So right now. What makes it like all come together and just be about family for you?
There's power in that. There's freedom in that. A lot of people are stuck painting celebrities or pop art in that sense, where it's something that it's going to give them a buzz, it's going to bring attention, it's going to draw an audience. But I don't want to do that. My family is worth celebrating too. They are people that I should bring higher. You know what I'm saying? We do have kings and queens in our family and people that we honor and hold very high. And I want to bring light to that. And I think the way that I can do that is by celebrating them through my art continuously, like straight up. I don't take no commissions. I really don't want to paint anyone else's family, and it's not. It is me being selfish because I think that they deserve that light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you.
For a moment, I Well, it's interesting too, because I feel like, especially like young black girls, but black people in general, because my parents are old. I say this all the time. I say it with pride. My daddy was born in 1937. My mother was born in 1953. So the way I was raised is different from everybody else, because I was raised with the mentality of you should get a job, you should become a doctor. My mom is a nurse. My dad is an interesting person. That movie Catch Me If You Can, that's my daddy in real life. Okay, whoever you need to be in that moment is who you should be. Like that has been his theory all his life. And so, like, as I started to get older, and this is kind of part of my question too, as I started to get older, I started to realize, oh shit, because being a self-taught graphic designer and then starting art in many forms, I didn't realize I can get paid doing this. Like, I don't actually have to go and report and somebody tells me with my 15 and my 30. You know what I mean? And so my question would be, when did y'all realize that, oh shit, I can get paid doing this? And what was it? What was the moment that she was like, fuck everything else, this is what I'm gonna do?
To be totally honest, before I was an esthetician, I was a dancer, and
Let 'em know.
and so when I got into it, I knew like I don't want to do this forever. And so when I was coming to the end of it, and I knew I wanted to have children, I said, okay, like this is it. You have to just jump and see where it takes you. And so I didn't really have a plan, but I just knew I didn't want to be where I was anymore. So I think that is the decision you make where you're like, okay, now I have to do it. You don't have time to look back or make any other decision. So.
Listen, that's the truth.
For real, you can't look back.
Yeah, you can't look back. You just have to say, I'm going forward. And this is
no
what I'm gonna
plan.
do.
Yeah.
No
Literally.
plan.
I never imagined
No
that.
one who really, in my opinion, no one who really truly succeeds has a definite plan besides the fact that you are just strongly in belief of yourself so much that you just like, I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Me and the higher ups, we gonna work this out.
I don't know how it's gonna happen. But it's gonna happen.
We gonna work this out, and like you gonna struggle, and it's gonna feel like a tsunami, but you still gonna come through it, and that's
best decision I ever made. For sure.
Go ahead.
Would not change it.
Man.
I think the moment I decided that I was just gonna go full force in this is when I was allowed to, or I was asked, like, you know, can you do this? And I'm kind of like, I'm an optimist, and I like to challenge myself, even if I don't know for sure if I can make that thing happen. I'm like, I'm going full force. You know, I can't sit and think about if or not, or like the ifs of it all. You know what I'm saying? I gotta like just go in there totally scared, not knowing, you know, the path that I'm gonna go with, but I have to carry my light with me and make sure that I see it through at the end of it.
Absolutely. I love that.
But, you know what I mean? Whatever I have, whatever tools I have and knowledge I have to carry that with me and be willing to learn, be willing to expand, be willing to not make it perfect all the time, which is totally okay, because I know I'm a perfectionist, but it's not always going to go my way. So I was thankful that I was able to leave my hotel job, working the front desk and being able to paint because somebody else saw my potential and was like, we like your work, we want to work with you. And I'm like, what? You want to work with me?
That's so dope.
You know, yeah. I left and my peers were like, what do you mean you're going to go paint? And they're like, house paint or art paint? And I'm like, art paint! I'm going to art paint. Whatever that means for you, I'm going to art paint. And so I've been doing that, and it feels good. You know what I'm saying? It's that feeling that you can't turn back. Why would you give it up?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I feel blessed, and I'm thankful, and I'm grateful to have this opportunity.
For sure.
That's honest. That's, you know, because the thing about it is like, I know for you were, back then, you were really worried about, at that time, just those deals that you had, and just trying to make sure that you could, you know, not ever have to be in a place or a position where you're struggling.
Yeah.
And now you just be like, oh yeah, no.
I'm gonna take care of it.
You know what I'm saying? It'll get paid.
Yes.
We'll do with it
Yes.
later. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you really get deep into entrepreneurship and the thing that you're doing, you start to realize, oh, it'll work.
Yes, exactly.
You know what
All
I
the
mean?
time.
Yeah, like it'll
Literally
work.
all the time though.
Yeah. So, you know, speaking of that, what was it like for you now that because you just opened the salon, right?
Yep, in November.
Yeah, so what was it like for you all these years building up to that point where you was like, all right, cool, time to open the salon? Like, what was that? What was that pivot?
Before that I was renting rooms or suites, and I was too big for the room. I was too big for the room. And I said, no, I need something bigger. I was too big for the room. I was too big for the room, and I saw my future, and it just wasn't gonna happen.
It didn't match.
Yeah, it didn't match where I was, and so I said, okay, I have to take this big leap, opening a salon, signing a long-term lease. It's a totally different ballgame than renting. But I just took the leap again. Like I said, I just said, let's just do it. What's the worst that could really happen?
That's literally always
what's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that could happen?
And so, yeah. and learning to wait in it and trusting the process for sure.
Yeah, because do you feel like if you would have just jumped at the beginning and been like, okay, I'm deep into this, let's just go get a salon, let's da-da-da-da-da, you feel like you maybe would have been either unappreciative or just completely unready for it?
I don't even know if you're ever ready, honestly, because I was still scared to take this step because it's a whole other process, opening up your own salon, you know, it's a whole different...
Permits and all.
Yes. And so while you're in it is when you're learning. So, I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, but if I would have done it back then, for sure I would not have been ready because all the lessons that I've learned over the years from different trainers and other lash techs.
Yeah.
Wow. You're leading on your own journey, learning from your own experience.
For sure.
It's definitely tough, but I give you like kudos and props for doing it. And
Thank you.
Being there, you know?
Thank you. It's pretty cool, I guess. I'm still learning and it's hard, but nothing worth having is easy. So.
Oh, right. So, Shaina, even for you, when you started going from the smaller prints and now you had this opportunity, did you continue to do the small prints, or was that the moment that you was like, okay, full drive, all right, cool, let's do it, come on, let's make big ass prints? Like, how did you work your way? Because also too, if I should mention, since she hasn't, so Shaina works in oil, and I don't know if you've ever dealt with oil paint, but it doesn't fucking dry at all. So
wait, it doesn't dry at all?
For a long time.
For a very long, like, don't let her play you. It takes months.
Oh, okay.
Like, she had, what painting was that? I was at her studio and she had painted something like a month and a half before I was there, and I had touched it, and she was like, don't touch it because it'll move, it'll change the texture. And I was like,
even though it's heavy texture, it's still like drying.
Wow, that's cool to know.
no, it takes too long.
You want something, you can ask for it one day, and then you'll get it like maybe 3 months later.
Wow.
So imagine you're doing portraits that are bigger than a room, you know what I mean? And that paint needing to dry. What made you say, okay, full gear, you know, let's go from small to medium to large to fucking XL?
I think the doors just opened. I was offered up resources that allowed me to be as for me to be a lot more, I don't know, I'm looking for the word. Let me start that question again, go ahead.
No, don't worry, keep that.
No!
Because I mean, it's okay if you don't have a real answer, because what I'm hearing you say is that someone believed in you enough that they just pushed you to it.
Yeah.
They just was like, I see more for you. Kind of like how you said, I was bigger than the room. You know what I mean? You was bigger than the smaller canvases.
Even though I did like the smaller works, I didn't ever see myself doing larger pieces, but I said, why not? Like, you know, you said, what is the worst that can happen? And so I jumped into it. I was like, okay. I always thought about doing it in high school when I saw the other kids working on the larger pieces because they could afford it. They had access to those resources, whereas I had access to paper. I had access to a little bit of acrylic and maybe some mixing medium that made it look like oil paint because I couldn't afford it. And then I was offered up those resources for me to be able to really hone in on that and just take it and like grab it by the horns, you know? And so being able to explore that medium and explore on big canvas and use that much paint, it's like, it's limitless, you know what I mean? I can do anything with the material that I want now that I have the resources, and I think that's an important part, is like use the tools that you have and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it, or ask your community. We are in a community full of artists. Hey, you got any materials you're not using or something I can borrow from you? And people are more than willing to help you so you can gain access to those tools and like level up in your own game.
That's honest. I'm here. Listen, I'm here for it. Like I said, portraits are huge, and I just be like, oh, okay, all right. And the thing is like, even on Instagram, like, it's beautiful to see how much love they receive, but I be so angry now because I be like, y'all don't know the real size of it. Like, she didn't fit it into this little 10 by 80 square, but in real life, it's huge.
Yeah, I do that for aesthetics. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I be like, in real life, it's massive. It's
like really beautiful.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Because you was Instagram stalking today.
Yeah.
I was all
You
over
know
there.
that. And the interesting thing is, okay, so this is our first time meeting, and we was actually talking about how I knew of her earlier. But the funny thing is too is like, I remember years ago, and this is me telling you the honest to God truth. I remember years ago, so this was after you had started in your business. And so I think it was probably like your first year, and you was on Facebook and you was like, I want to go to conferences, I want to read, what should I be reading, There was a conference downtown Minneapolis. I don't remember the name of it, I just remember the branding was like pink and white and there was flowers everywhere. And I can't remember if Nas, because you know I call her Nas, but whatever. If Nas had went with you, or if someone else had went with you, but I remember seeing that, and this is while I was still working for somebody else, and I was like, damn, okay. All right. So that's a thing.
Like, was I a vendor?
No. You literally had just went. I can't remember. It was like one of your first conferences.
Okay.
But it was downtown Minneapolis. It was literally a few years ago, and you had just went. And so I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And then more and more on your Facebook statuses, because I used to see them so often, like literally, it was like you would be talking about how you were starting your business, how you went from the kitchen to now you were at your first studio, you and your, I want to say collaborator, partner at the time. And I just was like, what the fuck am I doing? Wow. So I think it was around, where was I working? Ooh, y'all, I've had so many jobs.
Was it Foot Locker?
No. It wasn't Foot Locker. It wasn't Foot Locker. I've had so many jobs. No, damn, I might have been working at the hotel Minneapolis Autograph Collection. So this would have been 2016. Nope. Where was I working in 2016? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, this was Hertz. I used to work at Hertz. So this is when I was working at Hertz. And I used to do overnights. And I had seen that status and I was like, what the hell am I doing? And so it inspired me enough to be like, I'm finna quit.
That's what's up.
Yeah, no, don't rush to say that. Because I got a whole bunch of jobs because I was always quitting. But I was like, this time specifically, I'm going to quit with the purpose of going and doing something that's art worthy. Because I just was like, what the hell am I doing? Like, this doesn't seem fun.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Doesn't feed your soul.
It doesn't feed my soul. And so you were one of the first people to inspire me to be like, I need to do something different. And there's definitely other women. Like, I've been watching Gabby for years.
612 Jungle Gabby.
6-1, but like I've been watching Gabby, and I told Gabby this one day because like I don't know her personally either. And I've invited her, so hopefully one day.
Oh, yoga.
Yes. But because I had been watching her closely too, because she was also inspiring at the time. And then she opened Trappin' Yoga. Could be saying that wrong. And then she had did some other stuff. But I just was like, fam, people be calling you a bottle service girl. They don't even know. First of all, you're the manager. Okay, first of all. I was like, second of all, you're an IT auditor. Like, that's how closely I knew about her life. And so I just was super excited. So that's like what truly inspired me. But like, what really inspired y'all? Like, what inspires you now to even keep going? Because I feel like you get to a point in business where it's like, okay, I'm tired. Y'all.
What inspires me now?
What inspired you then, and what inspires you now?
then was, I don't even really know what inspired me. I just saw what I wanted my future to look like and just kind of like work my way there. Now, women definitely inspire me every day. You know, I love, I mean, I read books all the time and I listen to podcasts. So I guess that's what keeps me inspired and what keeps me motivated because, you know, as an entrepreneur, you know, you will lose that inspiration. You will feel stuck. So you do have to look for sources of inspiration and motivation. So I guess now is just seeing my own potential inspires me. You know, like, how far can I really take this? Like, how far can I really go? You know, for sure. And my daughter definitely inspires me, for sure. Yeah.
I love how you talk about your little person.
My baby, her name is also Mayowa.
Cute.
You call her Mayowa from Owl.
I call her MJ, but absolutely. But I was just like, yeah, like, I need you. And so we share the same name.
That is super beautiful.
I love that.
What has inspired you then and now?
Then, I think just constantly being creative. I've been a creative since I was like little, even at like Boys and Girls Club. I talk about this all the time. Like, I go there and spend my summers in the creativity room with this older woman who was constantly doing arts and crafts, and it doesn't matter what we were doing. Like, I was always involved with that. And so, and kind of being the only creative in the family, I had a lot of encouragement from my people around me. Like, they saw something in me, even though I was very little, I didn't see it myself. And people were like, that's so dope, that's so cool, you did that?
Yeah.
What do you mean? We're gonna frame this. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Y'all talking me up. I don't know, bro. I'm only got a third grade. You know?
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, having that support and like knowing that I could go somewhere, like people constantly like saying those positive things and words of affirmation kind of like let me know like I am worth my work and my power and my ability to create is worth something that I can live up to one day, and I want to like do it for my people, and especially because I lost a lot of family members due to cancer, and I'm thankful that I get to be able to like immortalize them in that way. And I do it more so for them because I know that they make me happy, and we continue to inspire each other like your daughter moves you. You know what I mean? And so I want to continue to do that for them. I know that one day they're going to be able to see all these paintings and know that like, damn, this is our family.
Yes.
This is our blood. This is us.
It's
you
me.
know? You know, that keeps me going. And I have siblings that look up to me, and I'm the oldest, so I just want to make them proud. You know.
That's beautiful. Yeah, you know I'm rocking with it. You know. And I think it's interesting too, because as long as you can find a why, I think that'll make you keep going. Like some days I wake up and I'm super like, and then I come out into the living room and I'm like, all right, cool, guys. I'm rocking with you, you know. Because at the end of the day, like I was telling Jovi earlier that like the funny story behind this, if Shaina knows, is that like I moved here and technically King P Studio I just hit my first year. So I haven't had taxes. Thank you. I haven't had any taxes. So when I moved here, I was like just super scared because I was like, I don't have any taxes to give anybody, and I'm self-employed and I don't have enough W-2s, so like what the hell is gonna happen? And it was just crazy because it came at a real crazy time. And then like my site manager, who's also a Capricorn like me, was like, I just need your profit loss and da 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 da. And then she just was like, okay, you're approved, you can move in. I was like, oh. But then the crazy behind that is that I didn't get to see my place for a whole month, so I didn't know what this looked like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, way I was raised, before you sound least, you need to look. So I was like, okay. So I had literally like waited. Like I was so reluctant because I was like, I don't know what this is gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna look like, nothing. So then the first day of like full snowfall. I had came here and my site manager was like, oh yeah, you ready to see your place? And I was like, yeah. So she had walked me in and I was like, well, let me shut the hell up then. You know? And so it's nice to be like, yo, I moved here under certain circumstances that other people can't even like have the chance to do so. And just because of things that was already aligned, it just was like, oh yeah, move here. You know, so it's beautiful to have a why, and it's beautiful to constantly be inspired. I guess my next question for both of you would definitely be is, how do you feel about being in the market that you're in? And you hear it so often, people saying, oh, this market is so saturated, it's so this, it's so that. How do you navigate that besides, you know, standing out? Yeah. But how do you navigate that, like, truly and honestly? Because you know everybody want to be a last attention right now. Come on. Everybody is a latch tech.
To be totally honest, like, I just don't see them.
You better.
And what's crazy is, like, I always had that mindset before I, like, even got a coach. You know, like, don't worry about your competition. But I just never did, because I'm not, like, your clients are for you and my clients are for me. And nobody, like, in any business, like, your secret sauce is you, right? So I feel like I'm special.
Say that.
And I am worthy, right? Let's affirm out loud right now, okay? And so, like, I just feel like if I'm just myself, then I'll be okay. You know, like, I have more to offer than just lashes. You know, so I guess that's pretty much it. I don't think it's saturated. Yeah. You know, I really don't, because but that's just the way to think about it. Like, don't worry about everyone else. Like, that has nothing to do with your business. And no one can be you.
And it has nothing to do with your business personally.
Exactly.
Like, so, you ain't.
I just, you know, I just worry about the people who support me. Yeah.
You diggity damn right.
Yeah.
And Shaina, for you, the interesting thing is that you do, I feel like you were one of the very first, but neither here nor there. I'll let Instagram have it. So you do these faceless portraits, right? And that has become a wave. Like, so how do you navigate? You know it's the truth. Like, and it's not a dig on anybody, but like illustrators, painters, people who want to be creatives, everybody want to do faceless now. And so how you navigate through that?
Juicy. Okay. I think, like you said, there's nobody who can do it like you. Your business is just all you. You see nobody else. That's kind of like me, because I know no one else is going to be able to do that the way I do it, because I came upon it so naturally. Like, I couldn't paint faces, so that's been my style. It's like I wasn't striving to be, I stopped trying to be realistic with my work, because that was what everybody else was doing. And I think if I stayed on that wavelength, then I just would be mundane, and there would be nothing really special about the works, because you're seeing exactly what you see on a photograph and a painting. So I made that art. I was told my art was art, and I was like, okay, word, bet. Okay, I'm gonna paint this faceless work. And it grew with me naturally over the years, with the texture and building up on that. And the colors, and trying to create a genuine moment or experience within the work itself. I think that's what I hold on to, is that I know that no one else is going to be able to recreate my family moments. We have a collective narrative as human beings, the way we care for each other, hold each other, pose with each other, our Kodak moments, but no one is going to have my family. So I think that's what, you know, really lets me know that this is unique, and that I can continue to run with it. You know, I have seen the faceless artwork over the internet, but then again, I try to keep it as like, or remind myself that people are influenced, and when I say that's the greatest form of flattery is if someone copies you. And so I'm like, okay, I'll take that as
you're inspiring
that I'm inspiring them in the most humble way, you know. It is kind of hard, but
yeah.
we all deliver different things. And we all have a different audience. We all have different folks who run with us as people and as artists, whether it's together or separate.
Yeah, for sure. I love that.
And you know the crazy thing about it, because both of y'all both kind of touched on this, and I'm so happy y'all did. So we can just, because you can speak a word to somebody today, right now, okay? Y'all both kind of touched on the fact that there are people who are doing their own thing. There are also people who are imitators, who will try to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have the people, and Shaina, I know you have had this experience, who they just want to ride your wave. You know what I mean? Like they just want whatever it is that you get. Which, interesting enough, I just got done watching.
You may not even want what I got.
You know
Oh my God!
what I got.
Because you don't know how I got it. But we ain't gonna talk about that. No, I was gonna say I just actually got done watching season 4 of Queen Sugar, and the part where Nova is on her book tour. If y'all don't watch Queen Sugar, you should. But Nova is on her book tour, and one of her exes asks to join her, and then the ex actually tries to take opportunities from her when they're in spaces that are supposed to be about her. And so how do you deal with all of that? The people who imitate, the people who want to ride your wave, the people who have taken your work. Shaina, we gonna let Shaina go first.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
know Shaina got a word.
No, I think again, you just know that you deliver something completely different than what other people are doing, and nobody can be you. Even though the internet kind of puts on a fake facade for a lot of us folks, and it's like people gas you up, and it's like, I'm a human being, you're a human being, let's treat each other as is. I'm not higher than you, I'm not lower than you, we are on the same plane, but we operate in different lanes on different waves, you know what I'm saying? We can join the same wave and support each other in that and say like, hey, I was inspired by you, this moved me to create this work. Like, always give credit to that person, and I think that's what I appreciate the most, is when people let me know that like, hey, this moved me. And like that makes me feel good because I know that I'm doing the right work, because art is supposed to make people feel things. And if they were taken back by that so much, and they just felt all good inside that it moved them to like get out the paintbrush and get out the materials and make that work, then that means something to me. You know what I mean? I've grown to learn rather than to like be kind of like cynical about it, because people are always going to copy and imitate. Even through history, our history, that's what we do. We take and we repeat things, which is totally fine, but make it your own. I've seen people do portraits that look exactly like mine, and I'm like, that's me. Why are you putting a white face on this little black girl? This is so weird. I don't understand. This is a moment for me. This is my family member. Paint your own moment. And I've seen portraits where families are painted through that person. Like, this is a family portrait I recreated, and I love it. I love what you do, and so I made my own. This is what I have to show you. And I'm like, oh my God, my heart. This is so sweet. I am so thankful and glad that you got up and you created something today. You know, so there's two different ways of imitation that you can do, where it's not copying the artist's work directly for what it is, kind of the stylistic manner and whatnot, or why they do it, but you can do it your own way. Just put a twist on it, and everything is going to be okay. You know, I think that's an important thing to remember.
Cause I already know. I'm ready.
Wait, what?
When people trying to ride your wave.
Honestly, I think the wave in my field is just becoming a last check, right?
But I mean your wave. Oh no, we ain't gonna make this general. You cute. No. When people try to ride your wave and imitate, you gonna tell me you don't see them?
I don't see them. Because I'm so focused on what I want to offer my clients and potential clients.
So you ain't never had a friend or someone who you thought you was gonna collaborate with, and you was like, oh, okay.
I don't know. Because I mean, I have, but I guess, you know what? I literally use it as a learning lesson for me for personal growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like how can I handle this? Like, how does this make me feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, then I feel like it brings up problems in myself that I need to work on. So I guess I can use it as a learning lesson.
Yeah.
As that. But I don't see them. I really don't. It's not like in a malicious way. I just do not see them because I am so focused on what I want to offer to my clients and how I want to serve them.
You got straight up tunnel vision.
You know,
that girl said I am not learning about whatever.
That's the way.
Yes,
for real.
literally.
You can't afford to be thinking about anybody else. Someone
You cannot afford it.
competition.
You can't afford it.
Your higher self is your competition.
Listen, I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not trying to get there. I take that back. I'm not trying to get there. Because so for me, it's like when people try to ride the wave of either King P Studio, Art in Many Forms, or just Precious the person, I'll let you come ride my wave because I know you're not gonna stay here long. Because this is not an easy wave. Okay.
Well, that's probably what I be feeling like. Okay.
This is like you can come and then however you choose to leave is your choice because, and I know we've all seen this meme that's like you get to a point where it's okay if you're the villain in somebody's story.
Yes,
and I'm okay if I'm the bad person, if I'm the good person. That's kind of where I become like you, where I'm like, I don't care who I am in your story. Because at the end of the day, I got something to do. Like I got something to grow, I have something to make bigger. But I'm not completely there yet when it comes, you know, I'm like, yeah, come get on this way. And you gonna get off real quick.
It's because it's like, you know, we'll see in a year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll see in a year.
Yeah.
I love the people who are like, oh yeah, I'm really for your dreams. I'm really for your dreams. But every time you say something about something new you want to do, they're like, oh, well, I don't know if you should do that. Okay. Well, like, nah. See, you might not even need to get off my wave. I might just leave you in the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because there's some things too that I feel like naturally, especially when you are an entrepreneur and you are taking this gift that was put in you, I feel like you get to a point where you start to understand yourself so much better, which is probably where you are, where you just get to a point you understand yourself so clearly. It don't matter who come, who going, who's here, who's not. It's just about, did I make myself happy today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, did I hit my goal today?
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? The whole entire time,
Yes.
the whole time Mayowa has been here, she's been on the phone like, okay, so you want to do a classic? Okay, well, can you do it? Okay, well, okay, well, can you reschedule that?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, come through, because we still got business.
Absolutely.
Okay? We still got to handle business at the end of the day. And as crazy as all of that is, do you ever still feel like, because I think it's like an innate, that's a word. It's an innate thing for women to still sometimes feel not qualified for something. So do you ever have moments where you feel like you just not qualified to do that thing, apply for that thing, and what do you tell yourself in those moments?
So check this out.
Okay,
Right?
I'm here.
I learned a new thing from
Like,
Insecure called imposter syndrome.
oh, very familiar. I honestly
I said, I got that. And I never could like put a word to it or I'm like, why do I feel this? Why do I feel like I'm not good enough? Why do I feel like I'm not qualified? But it's just like, that's a thing called imposter syndrome. And it's just like, oh no, let's affirm real quick. I am worthy. Right? I can create the life that I want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess just when you feel that wave of negativity, you just gotta check it right there. And that is also a skill, right? Because you could let your negative thoughts take over. But if you just keep practicing, like, no, that's not me. You know, that's not who I want to be. That's not who I'm going to be. That's not who I am. So I guess like that's just it. Like just like, and I just got to this point. You know, just like. maybe this whole pandemic has made me realize a few things, right? Because
quarantine, thank you.
yeah, I let fear stop me from doing a lot of things, but just like, okay, well, there's greatness on the other side of that fear, right? And so I guess it's just a muscle you have to keep flexing to get out of that space. Yeah, for sure. But we are good enough. Yeah, so I keep saying that.
Go ahead. Yes, for these affirmations.
They work for sure. They work.
I am worthy.
I
am all of the things. Okay, all of the things. For you.
You really gotta talk, like, you know, talk to yourself like that and affirm all the time. I forgot to keep going.
Listen
it out. I'm so present with each, you know,
I
answer that I'm not even thinking about mine.
I genuinely appreciate this conversation because I think the crazy part about it, like just talking about affirmations, is that I think, like, even me personally, dealing with my depression and my mental states and all these things, I think for me, what makes it so much easier some days is just knowing what to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Like I said, some days I can wake up and it's just like, okay, cool. Okay, whatever.
I'm here.
Right? You know, I'm here. And then I'll come into the living room and I might even go back to sleep. But it really doesn't matter because I feel better about the simple fact of, yo, I'm super grateful I got to have an opportunity other people don't have. You know, I'm super grateful that even during a pandemic, all my bills have been paid. You know what I mean? I'm super grateful that even during a pandemic, I've been eating like a crazy person. You know what I mean?
That's all right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you might forget to affirm yourself, but knowing to be constantly grateful is just another way to keep yourself grounded in happiness. And it's another way to just keep yourself grounded in who you are. You know what I'm saying? When you're grateful for who you are and what you have. So hell, I forgot the question myself.
See, I'm like, we're pulling it out.
But you know, but I will say this. What do you think, because we're kind of coming to an end, but what do you guys feel like for other people in the world who are super scared to start a business or to really run out on their gifts? Because that's what I call it. I call it running out on your gift.
I like that.
Yeah, because you. Hey. But what do you say, especially to other Black women, especially who want to start a business or really thinking about starting a business? Like, what do you say to them?
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And if you fail, that's okay. You can get back up and try it again. But you won't know unless you try it, unless you just do it. And I'll be so mad at myself for letting fear cripple me. So I need to let y'all know I'm reaching back down, letting y'all know, just do it.
You know what? You just reminded me. I don't know if you've already read the book. I promise we're gonna come right back. I don't know if you already read this book, Influencer, by Brittany Hennessy. You should actually read it. You would enjoy it. Because at the end, she gives her 3 life mantras. And one of her mantras, I feel like we all say it, but we don't really think about it. And so one of her mantras was, why not me? And she was like, when I thought about who should write a book about how to become an influencer, it was like, well, why not me? Right? Because she's actually an executive, I believe, if I remember correctly, at Hearst. And she actually is the influencer manager. Like, she books all the influencers. And she just was like, oh, why not me? And so, yeah, you would enjoy that. Check it out. You would enjoy that book. What would you say to someone who wants to hopefully not make faceless paintings? No. But to someone who just wants to go ahead and actually, like, they're creative in that way, in that field, and they want to do it for themselves.
Like you said, I always like piggyback off of you, but just do it. I find myself in some days where I'm overthinking my process to this day, where I'm like, dang, I gotta do a lot of work when I get in the studio. I don't know if I'm feeling it. I don't have energy for that. And I make excuses for myself. And like there's days where you just like like you have to go to the gym. Don't even think about it. Like make it habitual to the point where it's just so in your nature to get up and want to do it and not look at it like it's a hard thing to do because you know that you've already conquered yesterday. So today is a new day and you just got to continuously remind yourself like, all right, we're going to push that restart button and jump back into it because there's work to be done. You know, if you love something, if you're passionate about it, put it out to the world. I know as artists and creatives and people who are entrepreneurs, we love to hide things for ourselves because we feel like we're not ready sometimes to give it to the world or show it to the world. And sometimes you just have to go like a little bit, like put something out there to let people know that you're passionate and that you care about something so deeply that they invest into you. They pour into you so you can pour back into them and build a community around you. You know what I mean? You kind of like need those, excuse me, you need those rafters to like keep you afloat and let people know. Because if you don't tell anybody that you like something, that you're passionate, that you want to do this thing, how can people keep you afloat? How can they keep you above water? How could they give you resources and opportunities if they don't know that you want to do something within yourself that you never showed anybody else? You know what I mean? So if you want to do something creatively, if you want to jump into entrepreneurship and be a boss for yourself, then you have to just do it and don't think about it. Excuse me. Let people
also
know.
just answered the last question too.
Let people know. It's in the forecast.
Because I was like, damn, that is the question, huh? Okay, yeah. No, that's super dope though. I think no matter what, first of all, my piece of advice is that not only should you just do it, but because I have a friend who just started, which is so dope. She just started her like own little thing where she's making bath salts, infused THC bath salts.
She lives here?
Oh yes. Cool. Listen, I actually been putting everybody on her. I got you because you know THC ain't technically legal in Minnesota, but she just wanted to try it and she just wanted to do it. And I had actually just went and seen her a few days ago, and she was like, you know, my friend, someone who she thought was her friend, actually completely stole her idea. So that was her first hit, and she just started. And then as she and I were talking, she was just like, you know, I don't even like, is it even like a thing? Like, should I do this? I was like, oh, you crazy as hell. Like this. And I had to remind her of all the things that we've talked about. Like, one, it's you who are selling these bath salts.
Exactly.
And the fact that you're hand making them, like you're ordering everything by bulk and actually making these bath salts, fam. Like, no one else is really doing that. I mean, the lavender, the Dead Sea salt, the Himalayas, every part of it, right? And I was just like, not only that, but it doesn't matter who's trying to steal what you're doing because they ain't gonna do it like you anyway.
That's the one.
And I was like, you gotta know your market. So it's funny enough, we had Google like THC bath salts, and this is not to come at nobody. Appropriation is a real thing. So there's a woman, I'm not gonna say the name of her brand, but it's a white woman who is leading, and so she goes by the OG queen. And I'm like, damn, this is your market. You can do this.
Yeah, for
You can make thousands, 100,000s, and so much more. And the last thing you should be concerned about is who else is doing it.
Yeah.
And you can definitely, you know, just keep doing it. Just keep making it. I don't know if y'all seen the young woman. Her name is Marie. She owns Moon Cosmetics.
Oh, yes.
Right?
I found about her that day. Didn't even know who she was, but
20-year-old black girl who made $1 million in 8 minutes.
8 minutes, girlfriend.
Yeah, and in 30 minutes.
8 minutes.
In 30 minutes, she had 1.7. And you know why she shut it down? Because she only got a 5-person team. And she had 76,000 orders. And they was like, who's going to make all these orders?
Yeah.
Like, Phil,
I couldn't believe it.
you need to close this.
I mean, I can't believe it, actually.
I can't believe it. Within 30 minutes, she had to close her site because she had that much money
inspiring.
and that many orders.
Isn't there a button or a tool that says sold out?
No, she wasn't sold out. She had made enough to actually sell as much as she was. It was just the fact of who's going to do all this.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's only 5 of us.
You said 5. Not a one-person team, because sometimes that's just how it is, a one-person team.
True.
And if you go Google her story, you'll see that it was, for a long time, it was just her. And then she's
only 22.
No, she's only 20.
She's only 20.
She's only
Baby,
20. She's
that's
also
amazing.
Oh no, she's a Virgo.
She just moved into her first apartment.
Wow.
Did you see that? I was
I
like,
see.
it's a baby.
I see it. And I was like, yo, I mean, and she has a whole warehouse.
Yeah.
She just went and bought her first Jeep.
Yes.
I was like, okay, come through right
Yeah.
Love
For
the
sure.
regular. But you know, it's just things like that. So I try to constantly remind people, you should definitely keep going, even when you think you should stop, even when you think other people are in your way, or you could be like her and you could just not see nobody. You could be like, oh, I've made the decision.
There's enough room for us at the top. See at the top, baby. It's okay, cool. But I gotta keep going.
Listen, Kevin Hart, one of my favorite people when it comes to business, says all the time, there's enough money for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because I make 100,000 don't mean I'm taking money from your pocket.
Yeah.
Because you can go make 100,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, all black girl magic. Is there anything else y'all want to let people know?
This is pretty cool.
This is her first time, and she's just having so much fun.
Yeah, so
She actually is.
Yes.
This is really cool.
Yeah. So, well, once again, thank you to everyone. Thank you to our wonderful team in the bag. Make sure y'all actually follow Shaina, which is Wallflower McCoy on Instagram. Now, who are you today? Because she just started another Instagram.
I just started a personal Instagram. So my business Instagram is The Lash House, HAUSMN, and then my personal page is That Girl That Does Lashes.
That girl.
Hey.
Yeah.
My friends laugh at it. I'm like, it's catchy.
I mean, but it's
Right?
Like if you just typed it in and you just typed in That Girl That Does Lashes.
But you're already, I mean, you're here in Minnesota, but people already are like, that's who you should go to get your lashes done. You know what I mean? But like, I can see, and this is just using this comparison because y'all might know who I'm talking about. But like, is it Kimbrella or Kimbella in LA, the black woman who is the black woman to get your hair did by, and people travel across the world for her. So same thing. I'm very sure it's in your path because you got that tunnel. That girl ain't never gonna leave Minnesota. She's gonna be out here charging y'all LA prices.
Yes, okay, absolutely. In South Minneapolis.
You know, in South Minneapolis. Come on over.
Yeah.
And then per usual, please keep following Art in Many Forms. I'm actually, so now that we've made it to the end, I can actually announce. So we have gotten some grants, and so we will have more workshops and more webinars. And maybe we'll actually be able to make it a thing to do the living room flow because Miss Corona ain't going nowhere. So maybe we can do more of the living room flow for y'all. But this was super dope. This was super fun. Shout out to everyone, people who are watching, people who come back. Thank you. And yeah, y'all have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all. So we have come to an end. I'm so excited about what is to come in the future. Y'all don't even know yet, but it's gonna be real dope. Please make sure you follow these ladies, and whatever you do, make sure you go live out your goddamn dreams. And with that,